Okay, in this tutorial, in an effort to help one of the members of my forum improve this image, I'm going to show you how I'm going to show her how to do it. And the first thing I'm going to do is create a brand new layer. And it's going to be a copy of layer 1. So I'll hold down Control and J to make a copy. And then I'm going to improve the saturation on this image by going into Image, Mode, go into Lab Color, don't merge them, and I'm going to bring up the Curves dialog box, and I'm going to do my typical A-B saturation. And bring this over 2 boxes. Bring this over 2 boxes, go into my B channel, and do the same thing again. This is my typical starting point for saturation. Typically, this is where I start. And click OK. And now I'm going to go back to Image, Mode, and I'm going to go back to RGB, don't merge. Now I think this is a little too saturated, so I'm going to reduce the opacity down to around 25% or so, right about here on that. Now the next thing I need to take care of is the cabin area. It's a little too dark, too much in shadow. So I'm going to hide this layer for a second. And what I'm going to do is create another duplicate layer of layer 1 again. And this time I'm going to go into the Curves dialog box. And I'm going to bring up the midtones. Let me see what we're doing here. And really, I'm not paying attention to the rest of it. All I'm looking at is the cabin. That's all I want. And let's see, that looks good right there. Now I'm going to create a layer mask. I'm going to hold down the Alt key and create a new layer mask, and that's black right there. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is go into my brushes, and I'm going to select a brush that appropriate size and reduce the opacity to somewhere around 55% or so. I can always adjust that later on. Now I'm going to come in closer onto the cabin. All I'm concerned about is the cabin, and I want to get some of the shadows. I want that cabin to be the predominant focal point of this image. I want that cabin to stand out. And then when it's in the shadows like that, it's not really standing out all that well. Okay, let's see what we got here. Let's see. That was before, that's after. Okay. Alright, I'm going to put this layer above this layer now. So now we got... Alright, now I need to do something about the sky. So I'm going to create a brand new layer above this, and making sure my black is my foreground color, I'll go into the gradients, and I'm going to go black foreground to transparent. And now I'm going to go up to the top of the image, holding down the Shift key to get a straight line, a straight gradient. There I go. And I'm going to change this blend mode. Bring this up here so you can see it. Change this blend mode to soft light. And I'd like to duplicate that one more time, just to give it more of an effect. And that's more like what I was looking for. And now I can go back in here. And let's see. This is my saturation layer right here. It looks just about right. And let me see any final adjustments on this cabin. Yeah, it's still a little dark over here. And just go in there a little bit more right in this area right here and over here. Let me take a look at it and see what it looks like. You see I have more white in this area right here. And that's what I'm looking for right here. Okay. We could go into some of these shadow areas over here in the trees too if we wanted to. But, okay, so let's see what we had. This is what we began with. And that's what we ended up with. One other area I noticed up here is those trees are a little bit too dark here. Let me merge these two sky layers together by holding down Control E. And that should take care of it a little bit more gooder that way. And if I needed to, I could always go into the eraser and erase some of that black. But it's up to you. You know, you can tweak it and play around with it. And that's how I would have done this image.